This is Ann. I love Ann. She's most informative. Well, Bob's number one. I consider her number two, but I still love her. Yeah. But go ahead, Ann.
Well, thank you very much, Walter, and thank you, Mark, very much for inviting me onto your program again. It's such an honor to be invited to share information with others on the world-famous Mark Z Show.
And I really need to start sharing like one of the studio links so that you can so everybody can see just how well you have aged with these things. Sometime if you're ever feeling spunky and want to so everybody can see you.
Okay, well that would be fun one day. Okay, well Mark, as an author of a book about adult stem cells, I thought today I'd talk about the incredible power of stem cells and an amazing stem cell and blood flow increasing mat that we can all have in our homes for as little as $65 a month on a credit card. So in the 21st century, a lot of us are aware that many people have been clamoring to get stem cell therapy, but stem cell therapy is so very expensive, and people are now paying anywhere between $4,000 to $21,000 and even up for stem cell therapy, when sadly enough, statistically, less than 50% of the time, those stem cell therapies don't even work. And when they don't work, no one even gets a refund. So how sad is that?
Yeah, right.
I know. So today we're going to go talking about an alternative to stem cell therapy, and that is our amazing stem cell blood flow increasing mat that many people I know are now using in the convenience of their homes. And we're using that mat to counteract and reverse the aging and disease process. So anytime I focus on the topic of disease, Mark, you know that I like to mention that what aging and disease is anyway. And so when I've gone out to Wikipedia before to see what Wikipedia says, the definition of aging disease is, I've seen it as this, quote, a gradual decline in an individual's health over their lifetime, ultimately culminating in death. So remember, everyone, disease is a continuous downhill process, which only gets worse and worse over time. And the older we are, the faster we age. A 60-year-old's going to age a lot faster than a 40-year-old, and an 80-year-old's going to age a lot faster than a 60-year-old. And so to give you an example about the aging process, let's focus maybe on the topic of our needs. Through the years, as we get older, many people begin to feel knee pain. And over the years, that knee pain can feel worse and worse. And after many years of that knee pain getting worse and taking more pain pills and more pain pills, finally one day we get a scan of our knees and the doctor reports back to us and says, you now have bone on bone in your knees and you should get a knee replacement. Now remember, it took decades for those knees to get in that terrible condition, slowly getting worse and worse over time. But what I just explained about the aging and disease process of the knees is actually happening in all different parts of a person's aging body as they're getting older. Eyes are getting gradually worse, hips are getting gradually worse, brain and heart getting slowly worse with each passing year. That's what the disease process is. And up until the turn of the century, there was really nothing known by man that could reverse that getting worse and worse disease process. But thank goodness, now we're living in the 21st century when scientists now have an answer to reverse that aging and disease process, and that answer is stem cells. But we can't all afford those thousands of dollars of stem cell therapies, and why do we even want to take the risk when only 50% of the time that stem cell therapy will work? So for those who are not aware, every day stem cells come out of our bone marrow, and once they come out of our bone marrow, those stem cells are taken by our blood to areas in our body that are in distress to fix up those problem areas. And once they're released from our bone marrow, if those stem cells are taken by the blood to the heart, they can become a heart cell, to your brain, a brain cell, to your liver, a liver cell. And once those stem cells are taken by the blood to where they need to go, they'll dock there at the location where they're needed. And in 72 hours, they will change to become a specific kind of cell, like a heart cell, for example, and their role is to renew, repair, and regenerate that distressed area. The problem is, the older we are, the fewer stem cells in our blood, and the older we are, we have a double whammy, because the older we are, the worse our blood flows to even be able to take them where they need to go. Once a phlebotomist told me, those are people that take the blood, to send it to the lab. Once a phlebotomist told me, I don't even know how older people's blood flows because it gets so thick. So we want more stem cells coming out of our bone marrow to be able to be taken by the blood where they need to go to fix up our problems. And we need much better micro vessel blood flow to get those stem cells where they need to go. And so, and by the way, people don't have to worry about running out of bone marrow stem cells because they always clone themselves and leave a sister cell behind before they come out of our bone marrow. We just need more stem cells coming out, and we need better blood flow circulation to take them where they need to go. So now people around the world, we know, are spending many thousands of dollars for stem cell injections, even though 50% of the time they don't even work. But luckily for us, because of this amazing stem cell increasing, blood flow increasing mat, we can take a different type of stem cell therapy in the convenience of our home for far less money and statistically with a much better success rate. Our motto with this mat is that our amazing stem cell increasing, blood flow increasing mat works 100% of the time. So as little as $65 a month on a credit card, and it's a mat we lay on 8 minutes twice per day, and for 8 minutes, and every time we lay on this mat, we are going to get between 20 to 60% more stem cells coming out of our bone marrow. And wherever our blood takes them, they're going to be able to land where they need to go to slowly over time by laying on this mat, fix up our problem areas so we can get better and better. And what's so great about our particular mat is that not only does it cause more stem cells to come out of our bone marrow, the signal from the mat opens up the blockages in our microvessels, because you can have all the stem cells in the world coming out of your bone marrow. But if you have blockages in your teeny microvessels, those vital stem cells will never be able to make it to the organs and tissues that need self-repair. And this is the only mat in the world that has been clinically proven to open up the blockages in the invisible microvessels. And that is why the FDA in this country allows this category of mat to be used in hospitals. And think about it, if people get blockages in their heart arteries the size of a straw, think how many blockages people must have in those invisible capillaries interlacing throughout all your body tissues and organs. And in 2019, scientists reported that the only reason people get any kind of chronic disease is because of blockages in those microvessels. Because if your stem cells cannot make it to the problem areas because of blockages in your microvessels, they'll never be able to fix up your problems. This is why this mat is being used in hospitals by the NFLers, famous quarterbacks, World Cup tennis players, World Cup golfers, solely because of its ability to open up the blockages in the microvessels so all those stem cells can get where they need to go to renew, repair, and regenerate. Now, getting near the end of the talk, over the last 6 years, we have helped over 300 people get this amazing mat in their home. And now that is the reason so many of us wake up in the morning that have this mat, thanking God every single day for this amazing, life-changing mat, for the miracles that all of us have witnessed over time. And one man told me that if it were the last one on the planet, actually a clinician, a world-famous pain, he owns a pain clinic that people all over the world come to go to see. He wouldn't even take $100,000 for this mat if it were the last one on the planet. And when I told a lady that's had one for a couple years that, she said That's ridiculous. I wouldn't even take $1 million for this mat if it were the last one on the planet for what it's done for her heart. And I've had this mat for 6 years, Mark. And on the 8th day of me starting to use this mat, I remember it was on the 8th day I got the permanent spring back in my step, like 20-year-olds have. And over the last 6 years, I've had that permanent spring in my step, and I'm 70 years old now. And because this mat has given me so much energy over just about every single day for the last 6 years, I wake up at 7 in the morning and go 10:30 at night without needing caffeine or any naps. And with 8 weeks of getting this mat, people at work were telling me that I had a whole bunch of new hairs growing out of the top of my head. A lady saw me a year later, said, I can't believe how much hair you have on your head before compared to last year. And nicely enough, within 12 weeks of getting this mat all those 6 years ago, a baby cataract my doctor had been tracing, my eye doctor for many years, several years, I should say. He told me, you have no signs of cataract. And even 6 years later, he tells me I have no signs of cataract in either eye. And when people get this mat, instead of things getting worse and worse through age over time, with us mat owners, things keep getting better and better. And our motto with this mat is, don't go down in diapers. And with this amazing mat combined with high quality nutritional supplements, we firmly believe that most of us will be able to stay happy and healthy and out of assisted living almost until the very last day we take our last breath, because of its age reversal effects. And thanks to all those extra stem cells getting where they need to go with way more, much improved microvessel blood flow. And I can tell you, anyone that gets one of these mats will likely be able to enjoy so much more fun in their life when they feel so much more energy. And so what could be better than that? We all want to have more fun.
For more information, contact Audrey at 757 630 1541.